All right, let's get right into it. In the world of cars, some names just stick with you. They mean something. And today, we're talking about the huge return of one of India's most legendary nameplates, the Tata Sierra.
Look, this is way more than just another new car hitting the market. The comeback of the Sierra, it's a really big deal. It's this amazing blend of pure 90s nostalgia meeting super advanced 21st century tech. And you can bet the entire Indian auto industry is watching this one closely.
And that phrase right there, that's the whole story. We're going to break down how Tata took a classic that everyone loved and completely rebuilt it for a brand new era. It's a journey from its pioneering past to a very ambitious future.
To really get why the new Sierra is making such waves, we gotta hit rewind. We have to go back in time and look at the original, because that thing was a true trailblazer. Now just stop and think about that for a second. Back in the early 90s, this was a massive achievement. The Sierra wasn't just a car. It was a bold statement. It was proof of what India's car industry could do and a real glimpse into the future.
So what made it so iconic? Well, it came down to a few things that were just radical. That three-door design? Nobody was doing that. And those huge alpine windows that wrapped around the back? It looked like nothing else on the road. On top of that, it had stuff like power windows and air conditioning, which felt like absolute luxury back then. It was cool, it was different, and man, it was ahead of its time.
Okay, let's jump back to today. You got to imagine the challenge for Tata's designers, right? How in the world do you pay respect to a design that famous while building something that looks totally fresh and modern? Well, this is where past meets future.
So the key word here is evolution, not just copying the past. That impractical but awesome three-door design, it's now a much more sensible family-friendly five-door. That iconic glass look is still there, but it's a clever trick now, a blacked-out pillar that gives you the same vibe. And the boxy 90s style is gone, replaced by sleek stuff like connected LEDs and flush door handles.
And you can really see what I'm talking about right here. The blacked-out roof and the rear pillar, they create the illusion of that classic wraparound glass. It's such a smart, respectful nod to the original, almost like a little design secret for the fans.
But as cool as the outside is, the real shock comes when you open the door. Tata didn't just update the inside, they basically created what they're calling a lounge on wheels.
And this quote pretty much nails their whole ambition. The goal here wasn't just to make a car interior. It was to create a space that felt like a high-end, super comfortable living room. The absolute centerpiece is this wild triple-screen setup. On the top models, it literally stretches across the entire dashboard. It's a proper tech-heavy command center. And that premium vibe goes way beyond just screens. We're talking ventilated and powered front seats. You know, the kind of feature you usually find in way more expensive luxury cars. That's a game changer on a hot day or a long road trip. And to really sell that lounge feeling, they added a massive panoramic sunroof. It just floods the cabin with natural light and makes the whole space feel so much bigger and more open. And of course, what's a lounge without a great sound system? A 12-speaker setup from JBL basically turns the car into a private concert hall. The focus on a premium sensory experience here is just impossible to ignore.
All right, so a modern SUV can have all the fancy tech and cool looks in the world, but none of it means a thing if it's not safe, right? So let's see how the new Sierra is equipped to protect you.
And the short answer is, it's loaded. The two biggest headlines here are 6 airbags as standard on all versions and the option for a Level 2 ADAS system. If you're not familiar, just think of ADAS as a super smart co-pilot. It uses sensors for things like adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist to make driving easier and a whole lot safer.
That word standard is so important here. Making 6 airbags the baseline, not a pricey add-on, is a really strong statement about safety. It means everyone inside gets that comprehensive protection, not just people buying the most expensive model.
And this is the brain behind the active safety. That ADAS system uses a whole bunch of sensors and cameras to act like a second set of eyes on the road, helping you spot trouble and even prevent an accident before it happens. It's a huge leap in driver assist tech.
Okay, so we've talked design, tech, and safety. But what's under the hood? What's going to make this thing go? Well, the new Sierra gives you a choice for pretty much any kind of driver out there.
The choices are pretty straightforward. You've got an efficient, standard petrol engine that's great for city driving. If you want more punch, there's a powerful turbo petrol they're calling Hyperion. And for those long highway miles and great mileage, you've got the torque-heavy turbo diesel.
the cryojet.
But come on, this is an icon being reborn for today. The story couldn't just end with gasoline and diesel engines, could it? There's another chapter, and this one is pointed directly at the future.
That's right, an all-electric Sierra EV is coming. And the number you see here, that's the big one. An expected range of around 500 kilometers on a single charge. This isn't just an afterthought either. It's being built on a dedicated EV platform. That tells you Tata is putting this legendary name right at the front of its electric plans.
And all of this brings us to the final and most important question. The Sierra clearly has the legacy, it has the stunning looks and the futuristic tech. It does an amazing job of mixing that warm, fuzzy nostalgia with a clear-eyed vision for the future. But in one of the most crowded and competitive markets on the planet, is that going to be enough to turn an icon of the past into a champion of today? That is the big question.